And with that being said, let us go begin the session. New setting, new world. We find ourselves in the land of Varisia, far to the northwest of Galarian and the Inner Sea region. To some, it is a wild place, a frontier recently unleashed from the civilizing hand of the Chelish Empire. To some, though, that's a good thing. No overlords from beyond to oversee them, no overlords from beyond to stop the march of progress. But our story does not begin in Corvosa or Magnamar. It does not start in the great city of strangers, Karamaga. No, we find ourselves in... what's that? I think we find ourselves in the Lost Coast, one of the more wilder regions south of the Storval Val Plateau, in the small town of Sandpoint. For anyone that was approaching Sandpoint, the most common way is by taking the Lost Coast Road, heading from the west to the east. It follows the coastline which rises and falls with various hills and such, blocking the surroundings. But eventually you'll see Sandpoint proper. Overlooking and dominating the sky is the Old Light, this ancient building that may have been a lighthouse, may have been something else. No one really knows, but it harkens back to an older age. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. You would snake around through the forest, cross the Sandpoint Bridge. But before you cross that bridge, you would find a sign, wooden, nailed to a post, with a polished piece of steel, polished to a shine to the point where one would think that this thing is carefully tended to on a regular basis. It says this: "Welcome to Sandpoint. Please stop it to see yourself as we see you." And beyond that, you see timber buildings. There is the Low Town, which is closer to the water, right adjacent to the Sandpoint Harbor, and the land begins to slope gently upwards the more north you get, towards Hightown, for obvious reasons. And from there is the Sandpoint Cathedral, recently built, recently finished, a drawing point for many, and the focus of this festival. The Swallowtail Festival, which is also a religious holiday for a god, but that's not nearly as important. But yeah, our story, though, already begins in Sandpoint with some of the residents, and I'm just going to go ahead and roll we'll do odds evens for people, starting with odds. All right, and so, to any goer on there, and anyone entering Sandpoint, you guys would cross Sandpoint Bridge, make your way through Market Street, and there is the Rusty Dragon. It's a raucous tavern known for the iron dragon that gives its name, that decorates the rooftop above. It's not like the dragons.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we supposed to be looking on the map page, or are we supposed to be looking on the landing page?
It's completely up to you. Either okay. I'm just using it for reference, just so I know what I'm talking about. So it's completely up to you.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the map page is blacked out.
It's blacked out. That's kind of why I was wondering.
There it goes again. It's always the token vision. It's always the token vision.
All right, perfect.
Always the token vision. Did I not do it anywhere else? Let's see. Okay, the main map of Varisia, the hinterland is good. Okay, all right, yes. But we find ourselves at the Rusty Dragon, right on Market Street, with a good where it runs perpendicular with Salmon Street. It is dominated by this Rusty Dragon on its rooftop. That's not a traditional dragon to most people. Most people know them as these large-scaled beasts, large wings. This one is almost more serpentine. It almost has whiskers too, like a long mustache, which some people think is bizarre, but anyone of 10-shot descent would tell you is absolutely a dragon. And entering inside, it's about 7 in the morning, so the sun has just risen. It is a fall day. The days are getting longer. It's shorter. I lie. It's fall. I know my seasons. But we make ourselves up to the second floor to a small room that is well kept, that has a little placard on it because it's been had the same resident for Is it fair to say, Brian, that your character's been here for like months now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say like 3 months, solid time. Got here like at the beginning of summer. Now it's fall. But yeah, Brian, would you please go ahead and describe for us your character?
Yeah, I guess we're starting off with my character. You guys see like a generic. He's got white skin, human, brown hair. He's very energetic, going to and from, talking to patrons. He doesn't really work at the bar, but for some reason he is serving beer, probably at the behest of the tavern keep. And he just seems to bring a lot of high energy, and he's wearing a lot of furs over himself, and there's a glint of metal underneath the furs. And despite that, he's just just doing all that stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. You bring a lot of energy for 7 in the morning. There's two patrons. One was a drunk that fell asleep in the tavern, and the other is a traveler who recently got an early morning. Beyond that, it's you, these two, the proprietor, Ameko Kaijitsu, who is, she's. You don't know how she looks so awake because you have a bundle of energy, but she looks honestly perfect. She's dressed in this traditional Tiansha robe, red and gold. Her hair is completely done up. She's got very soft features around face. Her hair is done up partially into a bun, but the bangs are coming down. Some of the bangs are like grayish or white, which some people you've heard around town say it's because she's getting pretty old, but. They don't say it around her because she'll punch them. And she's also currently cooking up a very greasy breakfast. You know the works. Eggs. 3 eggs. A lot of bacon. But she's also doing some side cooking later because later on during the festival there is going to be all the establishments within the town give up basically offer a free lunch to all visitors for the festival. So she's both managing breakfast in addition to this. And as you finish serving these drinks to the 2 new patrons, Ameko calls you over. She's like, all right. Hi, Ongo. So, are you free today? Because I know you've been helping out the town's guard with patrols and such. And do you know if you're needed for that? By any chance?
I couldn't tell you.
All right.
So probably free, maybe. Yeah. Just
Okay.
say yeah.
Gotcha. Perfect. Right, because we got a lot of food. Nan is she's taking the day off. She always does this. Nan's the cook. I always hate that she takes off one of the busier days of the year, but can't help that. She doesn't listen to me. So yeah, got a lot of food here to bring. We just need to go ahead and bring it to right outside the cathedral. Did you have anything else that you need to do for today, or just helping me all with that?
People usually ask me for stuff on like a they just see me basis. So I mean,
Right.
it's kind of early in the morning for anyone else to be like, hey. So no, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a fun cue. The front door opens. It opens with a loud creak, and you hear 2 knocks. And standing in the doorway, you see is the sheriff, Baylor Hemlock, dressed in chainmail with a mail coif covering his head. For those who don't know, it's like a chainmail hood. He is wearing his standard orange cloak as he steps in. And he says, "Good, Ongo, I'm gonna need you."
Wait, hold on. I was just finished telling you, like, I'm on a first come first served basis. The tavern needs me all day, so
I've got a town of 200 people that now is filled with about another 300 people, and I've got 6 towns guards. We're gonna need all hands on deck.
okay. But you gotta talk to the tavern keep because I just told you.
Hello.
Yeah. So, I already told her that I would work for her. So,
Can I borrow the young man, Mako? And she's like, go ahead. It's fine. It's all right. It's like, good. Get your
guess I'm
gear
free.
on. Weapons. You're gonna be on basically just crowd control near the cathedral. Understood?
What does that like? Do I beat innocent people?
No, just keep the drunks from puking on people. Keep the old men from getting too grabby. If any fights start, go ahead and flag one of the other town's guards so that they can go ahead and stop that. And unless anyone draws steel, you're not gonna hit any people with weapons. You can punch people. Just no drawing your steel unless they draw first. Understood?
Okay, we had this issue like last month. You're gonna have to be really explicit with how you want me to take care of these drunk people or whatever, because my default response will be to punch them and knock them out.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Just don't.
All right, yeah, sir, yes, sir. And
The
just gonna walk
mayor,
out.
the mayor has just told. Oh, he's already gone. All right, perfect. Sorry, Mako. She's like, it's fine. It's all right. Go. But yeah, all right. And that from there you begin to wander through the town. And yeah, the town is a lot busier. You've only been here for about 3 months, but it is packed. The streets are filled. There's a lot of new faces. Hell, you also see the goblins. The Chokebringers are out in force here, mostly just carousing from what you can tell. And they're distinctive in that they all have like paint, paint like around like the shoulders and the collarbones. The more daring of them basically have like handprints wrapped around their necks, which some people are fine disturbing, but they're not bad folk. Hell, you see 2 goblins, like one standing on a barrel, another one holds up a match, and the other goblin farts, and there's a little bit of like fire breath from his ass. To the raucous cackling of a couple other goblins. But yeah, you're dodging around carts and begin to make your way towards Cathedral North. Yeah, and then did you put on your gear, get your sword and all that?
Oh, I was just assuming he was always wearing his gear, and the sword was just kind of sitting on his back, maybe side.
Perfect.
Where do you store a sword?
Depends. I mean, depends. All you've heard is that the sheriff has said only assholes have their sword on their back. It should be at your hip.
We'll say that he wore a sword on his back until he heard that, and then he puts it on his side.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Yeah. And as you begin to make your way through, what is your passive perception, by the way?
What is that?
It's your perception plus 10.
Plus 10.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, your perception plus 10.
Oh, so 18.
18. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah. You also notice that a couple of the militia, because the town has asked some people to like serve as militia in time of need, have been also called up for this, because the town only has 6 towns guard, and that includes the sheriff himself. You notice them mostly by their very haphazard garb. They're anyone that's wielding weapons but looks like they don't know what they're doing is a militiaman. So you do see them walking around as you make your way northwards, up towards Vessel Street, and then you make a left at High Street and head towards the cathedral. But yeah, there is that. Actually, I'm gonna roll for this. Okay. Nothing from that. Any back? Oh yeah, I don't have any music for this actually. That's a second. But so I can remember. That's if I can remember how the bot actually fucking works. It's been a hot minute. I don't have anything loaded up for this. Is it play? Now /play. Bugger. I'll deal with that later. That's fine. Okay, so on goes Ray heading off to the Sandpoint Cathedral, getting the garb ready. And so outside of it, you do see this is the cathedral is a massive edifice. From what you heard, because I believe you've been to town like a couple times before you started to stay here a little more often. But the chapel has been replaced with this giant stone cathedral, one that has been spared no expense. It is shiny. The exterior of near the steps has differing statues to the different gods, Callistra, Desna, Abradar, and his key. You see that, and then there's plenty of folks that have now been like set up. You see plenty of stalls, all sorts of games are being set up as well, and children are running around getting underfoot. Actually, I'm gonna roll for this too. One of them tries to steal your sword, but they don't beat your past perception. It's kind of funny because because out of the corner of your eye you see two kids. One basically gets on the other one's shoulders, and they begin to stalk you as he's piggyback riding, and he almost tries to get close to you and grab your sword hilt and let your own momentum like pull away, but you feel the tug in your scabbard. What do
I
you do?
attempt to lift the child up, basically like where it's resting on my shoulder, but the kid is now like hanging off of it. And without breaking a beat, I'm just gonna yell, "Pull up!"
Oh, your athletics is plus fucking 12. Absolutely, yeah. All right, you do so, and the kid's just like, ah! does a pull-up. Very bad pull-up, but does so.
20 reps.
What? 20?
Keep it going.
This small child fails to do another pull-up, but he begins to flail, and you get a couple of chuckles and laughter all around you. Before the kid just lets go and drops down, says, "We'll get your sword next time."
Good luck trying to get one over on a famous legendary hunter. Soon to be.
The kids run off. The one that failed to take your sword sticks out his tongue, but it's good nature. There's no malice behind it. And from there, you said, I imagine, do you just want to take up a post? You see a couple of other townsfolk. The two you recognize are Leland and Marcus. Leland is like the only dwarf you know in town, actually. He's a bit more tan, blondish hair, keeps to his old clan armor, so it's a little more sharper edged compared to the other like people that have armor. And Marcus is a young fella. He's the rookie out of the rest of the townsfolk. Got a little bit of stubble on his chin. Varisia in descent, so a little more olive skinned, green eyes, and you see that he hasn't drawn his sword, but he's got it out with the scabbard on, and he's doing forms, while Leland just rolls his eyes while he's doing that. Do you go over to him, or you just take a post and just begin to do your patrol?
Well, he goes over like this guy's just gonna talk to everybody. Mm-hmm. So he'll say his hellos to those guys, and then when he takes his post, he'll just strike up conversation with anyone that walks by.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I will go ahead and just roll for that. Okay. All right. The person that you happen to strike up a conversation with at this time is Father Abstelar Xantis, priest of the Sandpoint Cathedral and the spiritual leader of the town. He is a older man, bald, full beard, but he's got a waxed kind of mustache. He is wearing these red robes with like a yellowish sash that has all the different deities insignias inscribed on it, and he is walking around with a bit of a cane. Good day to you.
Hail, Father.
Yes.
I would say your full name, but it's really hard to pronounce. Sorry about that.
Father Xantis works as well if you don't want, or Father Abstelar. You don't need to do the full title.
Father Mantis.
Father Xantis with a Z, young man.
Zanzis.
Close enough.
I'm trying. I swear.
Your name is Ongo, is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
I hope you remembered from months of me helping clean the monastery and assorted tasks, but
Yes.
yep,
Of course.
it's me.
It's
Yep,
very clear. It's very clear to you. He doesn't remember all that. But yes, we thank you for your service. Desna
Hours of unpaid
Rastil.
labor.
Sorry, say again.
No, nothing.
Yes. And you see, he kind of like readjusts your armor, looking very good, very strapping. Seems that you're doing quite well. How is the sheriff treating you so far?
Oh, lots of work to be done for the local volunteer.
Right. Wait, he's not paying you?
Unless it goes to a bank account that I'm not aware of.
He should be paying you.
Can you vouch? Do you want to go to him and be like, hey, you should pay this guy?
He grinds his teeth.
To be fair, you don't pay me either, so.
Yes, but that's for the cathedral. But you stood watch at the old light for a couple night shifts. Isn't that right?
He said we go stand at the light, and I said, oh, sure.
God damn it! All right, I'll talk to him.
Hey, just so you know, isn't it like a god of commerce or something? You sure you don't? God, it's a service.
Yes, yes, there is Abadar, but for hard work, all men and women should be given their due. And you,
that's where you're gonna get the argument, because is this really hard work to stand by a lighthouse for a couple hours? I don't know about that.
Yes, it is. You keep the kids from getting towards Chopper's Isle. No one needs to go there. Don't sell yourself short. You deserve the money, and plus you need to buy it, like a new set of armor. That doesn't fit you. I'll talk to the sheriff. Don't worry. You've been here for 3 months. Yep. You started what 2 months ago?
I haven't really kept track of time that great.
So he owes you about 30 gold. All right. Okay. We'll get on that. All right.
Well, how about instead of 30 gold, it's just armor, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have a use. You can't throw money at. Can you throw money at monsters?
You should ask the lady Kaijitsu about that. She has a good story about killing. What was it? Was it a bugbear? A ghoul with silver coins.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take all my money in silver then.
Silver. All right. I will go ahead and rectify this very immediately. You see, he strains his robes, and then wanders off. Then comes back and says, "May the gods bless you. Thank you for your hard work." And then he continues walking off. You see his
Thanks for the thoughts and prayers.
You see his gaze is sighting through the crowd looking for the wayward sheriff. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and spin from there and make our way to Deverin Manor on the other side of the Sandpoint Harbor. It is one of the oldest buildings in town, a actual gorgeous manor, 2-story, well maintained, not exactly built up to the new modern architectures, but there is a certain gravitas to like really well kept, like beautiful architecture. And as we make our way inside, we find Kyle and his character. Kyle, Jeremy hasn't changed a whit, right? He's like Jeremy for the most part. Beautiful.
He's still Jeremy, but just different fan bam.
Gotcha. I guess the other question is this: since the House Devon is very well off, would you want to have a workshop in town separate from the manor, or did you want like your workshop to be part of the manor itself?
I feel like it would make more sense if it was part of the manor.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty large. No one really talks about it, but your Aunt Kendra, both of her siblings passed, and that has kind of opened up space in the manor, and so one of the old rooms got repurposed as your workshop. But yeah, what would Jeremy be doing at like the crack of dawn? Would he be just waking up? Would he be working on a design?
Yeah, I'd be at the crack of dawn. I'd get up and then I'd eat a nice breakfast that is served to us because we're a noble family over here, even if I am forced removed or whatever. And I go and I'm working on my mech designs, because that is really what I really want to do. I want to make a giant robot.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. But yeah, the room that you got was, you think used to be like a ballroom. I mean, it's a small one. It's a small town, so it's not like extravagant by any chance, by any regards. But this one does have a large enough ceiling, about 20 feet, for your designs. Let's just go ahead and make 3 crafting checks, so we can just go with the just determine how that progress is going.
Oh God.
Yeah, and
Where
then please
is
say the
my-
numbers, by the way, just since I'm not looking at the actual screen right now.
What happened to the nice bar on top that had all the?
Oh, if you're looking at the map of Sandpoint, I need to bring your token first. One second. All right, Mr. Jeremy Devrin. Yeah, so it should be there, like, since the token's down the map.
Okay. All right, I see it. Excellent.
Yeah, give me 3 crafting checks, please.
$19,
Beautiful. Okay.
22,
Yeah.
and 27.
Yeah, this has been going exceedingly well. You've gotten like most of like the chassis and the frame done. So while, because the most important thing is to make sure that it actually is able to move. So you got the majority of the frame, so someone could feasibly get into the mech suit and move around. Does it provide armor? Not really. If someone dove into Sandpoint Harbor and tried to swim and survive, they would not. But it does move. And you're getting it to the point where it could actually jog and keep pace with a horse going at a fast trot, which is not bad considering that you start on this like 3 months ago. Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's that. But also you could notice that in one of the side doors to your workshop, the ballroom, you hear your Aunt Kendra's voice emanating through. As she seems to be going over a speech. As I find what I wrote for that. Welcome. As many of you may know, my name is Kendra. Nope. Most of the people here are from the town. Let's go with this. Welcome to any of you who are visitors to our fair town. My name is Kendra Devrin. Good. Better. Perfect. All right. She can mumble, and then you notice that the voice is getting louder and louder as the door opens, and she wanders in, looking through her paper. The butler, the major domo, Darius is his name, is the guy that also served you breakfast. He's also there, and she hands her parchment to him and says, "Nephew, hello. By the way, you're like 3rd or 4th cousins, but it's much easier just to go with aunt and nephew."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "All right. How is the design going?"
It's going quite well. I feel like I'm about to make I made a major breakthrough. And as things go,
As things
I think
yes.
in a few months, I think I'll be in a really workable spot.
Honestly, that's great, she says. I didn't describe her. Your Aunt Kendra is how tall is General Amir, just so I can give a reference?
And I don't remember that.
You can just make it up, it's fine.
5'11".
5'11". So Kendra Devon is about only like an inch shorter than you. Honestly, I hate her hair. This is Jared speaking, but it's kind of like a bowlish kind of cut with like the bangs kind of swept to the side. Lighter skin. She is dressed in. It's that she's straddling the line between very like well tailored garments, but not ostentatious. It's not opulent. It's a simple like blue tunic, brown trousers, well like good material, and she has perfect posture as she begins to walk around your proto mech suit. She's like, "This is fantastic. It's a bit of an eyesore, but I imagine this is just the beginning, right? That's like it doesn't he look good, but it looks fantastic." She says, "I think it's gonna be great. Granted, so far from what I've heard, there are only people from Riddleport here interested in this. And it's good to drum up interest, but I also hear that they're pirates, which is a Riddleport standard. But if let's go with this. If they make any overtures, send them to me, because we don't want to actually agree to giving them a mech suit. Does that work?
That sounds great. I will make sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah, because any publicity is good publicity, but we don't want to actually get into an agreement. Yeah.
Sounds
Sorry.
good.
Sorry, just me worrying about things.
No, that's totally understandable.
Oh, perfect. All right. Yes. Anyway, she's like, okay. And now I know that you have your own showing of this in general, but one of the father's acolytes has come down ill, and he's a bit of a stickler for things being perfect, so he needs another person to be. He has 4 acolytes. He needs 2 on either side during his consecration. He's wondering if you could fill in. That's near the evening, so you don't need to say anything. He just needs. She snaps her fingers. Darian pulls out these robes, which are similar to the ones I described earlier from Ango's point of view. Just need to wear the robes. Just have the hood up. You don't need to say anything. Just follow the gestures, like a marionette doll. Does that make sense?
If I'm wearing these robes, why can't I just not go? Someone else could just stand in for me, and then I can work on my mech.
Okay, I'll take that as no. I'll let him know that you're too busy, but that's all right.
No, I feel guilt tripped. I'll go.
No, it's not.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm going.
No.
I'm doing it. I'm
So
doing
Darian's
it.
Darian's chair.
Jeremy grabs the robe.
Darian's
he
runs off,
rips
comes
the
back to
robes
chair.
out of her arms and says, "Okay, I'm going.
No, it's just she sits down the chair. Actually, let's make this seriously. Jeremy, can you please go ahead and make a perception check for me, please? 21. For most of your time knowing your Aunt Kendra, she has been very calm, composed, capable. She looks flustered. There's a slight bit of flush to her face. She's fidgeting with her hands, which you've never seen her do, because in her words, fidgeting is a sign of weakness, and too easy to tell. But she's fidgeting, and she seems very just. She's out of sorts right now. She's like, "I'm sorry, I know, but it's just the father and I want things to go well, and we know you actually will follow instructions." Because it's either you or it's the Scarnetti boys, and they're one of them's gonna pull a knife. That's how it's gonna go. It's just gonna happen. They're gonna make a swearing decorum, and they're gonna cut their hand, and then everyone's gonna see that. So it doesn't. It's you. Are you okay with doing this?
Okay, I'll do it.
No. You're a grown ass man. She says. You have a choice in these things. I am saying, though, that if you did this, the father would be really happy. I would feel a lot better, so we don't get those Scarnetti boys out there in front of a crowd of 100 people. Does that sound good? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Thank you. She gets it from her chair. Darian immediately sweeps it away. She hugs you, kisses you on your cheek. Fantastic. That's in the evening, so you can still do your expose. You can do all the other stuff. But once the sun begins to dip down, just have the robes on, go to the platform. I believe she'll be sitting on the father's left side, and that's fine. All right?
All right.
He even said you could have your sword if you really want to have that, or have your mech suit on as well. Because he's like, maybe that'll add some cachet having a really bulky acolyte. He said that, word for word, not my words.
Perfect.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much. Hugs you again. Please enjoy the Swallowtail Festival. I'm told that there's going to be an owlbear for some reason. I don't think we have any colonies, but someone's bringing an owlbear. All right. Enjoy yourself. Darian's. He's like, yes, ma'am. Help, Jeremy with his. She looks at your prototype. How the fuck are we gonna get this out of the manor? Darian's figured out. Yes, ma'am. I will. And she wanders off, leaving Darian there to look at this mech and look at you. So how do we break this down, Master Jeremy? 'Cause we have wagons.
It's a built-in function.
Oh, he looks immensely relieved. Thank the gods. Perfect. All right. And from there, yeah. So Darius fills you in. You have been given a prime spot because you know the mayor. So you're going to be right outside the Sandpoint Cathedral where the main events are happening. There is going to be there's not like a platform. There's going to be there's a roped off section for you to display it. And in Ankin's words, the mech is not to leave this area. If anything bad happens, please don't let anything bad happen. So there's that. But it's just showing it off essentially and showing people how it looks. Was there anything else that Jeremy wanted to do, or did he want to just get the mech going with Darius out towards the cathedral?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's going to take you several hours because it's just you two. Because for some reason your aunt only has a staff of one guy, and you have like a wagon, but it's still like getting it through, and you see the traffic as well as there's people trying to get into Sandpoint. But from there we're going to go ahead and zoom out. And we're going to go to our little other friend. So zooming out from Manor Devon as they begin to break down this mech, we bring ourselves to the Curious Goblin. It is the only bookstore in the town. It's actually a very good bookstore because plenty of folks from all over Varisia, as far south as Corvosa, actually come to here because it's a very complete collection. But we're not necessarily for books. At the storefront of the Curious Goblin has a sign of a goblin looking very distraught as it tries to read a book which is clearly upside down. But as the door opens, inside it is a comfortable nook. There are plenty of like bookshelves and stacks of books here and there. Someone for some reason has decided to smash like very comfortable chairs that are cushioned in there as well, and that is where we find Sean's character. Sean, can you describe your character for us, please?
Oh, he's muted.
Oh, you're muted, by the way, bud.
Yeah, I just get myself. Picture, if you will, a little glob of blue goo, about foot and a half tall. He takes the form of a torpedo with a rounded top, with some indistinct tentacle pods sticking out in various directions. His almost like a squid, if you will. His natural state is to wander around on his little tentacle feet from here, hither, thither. No visible face of any kind. Although when he's interacting with humanoids, he tends to sprout one giant eyeball and a faint mouth, so as not to put people off. Inside of him, in the middle of him, outside of his eyeball and his mouth, there is a kind of spear in the center, which is clearly his nucleus. And otherwise, you can see all the way through him.
Right, yeah.
He's a silly-looking creature.
Very silly looking. You're also like are you a foot tall or 2 feet tall?
You know, I said foot and a half, but I'm open-minded. I'm tiny, so it doesn't matter if I'm 2 feet in my mind.
Yeah, foot and a half tall. Perfect, yeah. And right now the Curious Goblin is pretty empty, actually. The only people there are 2 individuals. The first being the resident sage of the town, as I get confused with my own pages. Brodart Quink. I hate his name, but that's his name. Brodart Quink. He is an older Varisian man. Has a bit of almost like an old woman's quilt, like turned into like a shawl that he wears. His robes are very simple blue. He's got manacles on that are constantly sliding down his nose. All of his hair is pure white, and he is conversing with his a friend and the proprietor of this actual particular store, Chask Hadlin, who is very much almost a mirror of Brodart, just no glasses, and his clothing is a little rougher on the edges. And I don't think we actually established, but what language what's your intelligence?
Good question. I didn't solve that, but Let's say 10 for now.
10. Gotcha. All right. So they are currently speaking in a language you don't understand. It's a lot of hisses and like curling of tongues as you are there in this space. But eventually, Chas says, I'm very sorry. Chlorothol, I haven't really been including you in the conversation, but what is your thoughts upon the current political climate of Corvosa?
I do not know where Corvosa is.
Brought sighs. Trask, we've been over this. He was trying to eat a squirrel the other day. We need to ease him, she into these things. Sorry about that.
I am neither a he nor a she. I am a slime.
We need to ease into these things. Bart looks at you. Corvosa's trash. That's all you need to know. Terrible place. Don't go there. They have terrible
Noted.
work ethic. They legalized crime for some reason. That's because of the taxes. Then they can tax the Thieving Guild. The Thieving Guild manages all the other crime. It's perfect. They string up bodies publicly. It's allowed. Well, it's just how things are. The Brawler looks at you. It's not right to string people up. Even if they have stolen a lot, it's not right. You at least need to get the fair trial, go through the process, judicial, then you take off a hand. Dropping a glove, that's how it goes. Anyone steals, pop! He takes like a cleaver, slams into a book for some reason, and the book now has a cleaver just quivering in it. That's how it goes. But Trask says, and then you outside, you guys hear like someone knock on the door, and Trask says, "We're closed! It's festival! Fuck off!" And Poe's like, "Excuse me, I'm looking for... Fuck off!" Oh, okay. Come back tomorrow! Understood. So, gentlemen, are we going to go enjoy this festival? He says, raising his hands into quotation marks. Bro says, yes. Maybe we should. Yeah, the cathedral is magnificent. Their voices sound way too similar. I'll figure that later. The cathedral is magnificent. It's just wonderful. A pure engineering marvel. It's beautiful. A perfect testament to Shaylin. By the way, Phil, item number 7. Do you know how to write?
I do know how to write.
Thank God. All right. Thank the gods. Perfect. Write this down.
In which language?
Do you know what languages? Have you been lying to me this entire time?
No. I can write in Common or Thalassian. Thessalian.
Thessalonian.
Thessalonian. I can write in Thessalonian. Would you like it in Thessalonian?
They have weird vowel sounds. Let's not do that. Just too common.
Okay, I will write this in Common.
Yes. Write this down. This would be the best Swallowtail Festival ever. Biggest crowd. This is a consecration. We are showing proper reverence to Desna herself. Plenty good food, and folks are in town, and we can finally put that terrible business 5 years behind us. And Tess says, let's be honest. Festival's not going to exactly wipe away 25 murders, the burning down of the chapel, the death of the... We can't talk about these things. It just dampens the mood. And the two men switch a different language. Go ahead and make an intelligence check. Let's go with that, sure. Yeah. Also, Sean, I don't think you actually set up your ability scores because I see 10s across the board.
I did not set up my ability scores.
My man. Come on.
No, that's my bad. No need to apologize.
18. Okay. This language is very soft and lilting. You think it might be Elvish based off of what Broader tried to tutor you. But with that, the two men stand. They spin their hands, shake hands. Chask looks at you expectantly, waiting, hand outstretched.
I'm gonna stick a little tentacle into his palm.
You have young Slime? Young slime, you have to spit in your hand.
I do not know if I can produce liquids other than slime. I spit a little slime onto the tentacle. It gets absorbed into the tentacle, and then I shake his hand.
The spirit matters, he says as he shakes your hands. Broderick nods. Very good, very good. Master Chask.
Why did I write that down, Broderick?
Oh, because when you write down things, you tend to remember. The body, everybody, regardless of flesh and slime, remembers things. Some. If you watch, he stops and picks you up and kind of stretches you out. So you have some form of musculature. I can tell by the body, and it remembers. So the most important thoughts are the ones you write down. Those are the ones that you want to remember, the ones that you want to stay with your mind, your spirit, and your soul. Do I make sense? You can always say no.
Yes, I understand what you are saying, brother.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I told you not to swallow the squirrel, and you still tried to swallow the squirrel.
Squirrels are food, brother. No, squirrels are not food. Squirrels are not food for humanoids.
That is.
Squirrels are.
No. Squirrels are just not food.
Squirrels are not
don't
food.
Eat. Say, write it with me. We don't eat squirrels.
We don't eat squirrels.
Fantastic. Good. And at this point, you two are leaving, and almost get run over by a wagon, which doesn't phase Broderick at all. It's very apparent to you that he didn't even notice the wagon at all, as he's just talking to you. Yes, we don't eat squirrels. We always tip. And we don't go to cat houses. Granted, I don't. Maybe we should. That would be interesting to see how you react there.
What are cat houses?
It is a salacious term for. No, it's not. That's not salacious. It's a polite term for whorehouse. Nearby, there's a woman with her kids just looks over, and Broderick just ignores her as he continues walking with you. Yes, a whorehouse is where men and women of many different ancestries and peoples and sexualities and genders have sex with other people for money. Usually. I believe so.
My understanding is my body is unable to experience physical pleasure, and therefore the act would be unpleasant for me.
Yes. But it would still be interesting to see you in that environment, he says, as he takes out a journal and begins to write in it. Go ahead. We shall visit the place at a later date. Not today, because I believe they're going to be very busy.
Are you writing that because it's important?
Partially. Not for the reasons you're thinking.
Much to consider.
Much to consider, yes. Now, as there's going to be a lot of people. A lot of out-of-towners as well. And while we have certainly trained the locals to be fine around you, some people may not be fine with you. I'm not being explicit enough. Some people may think you're a monster and might try to hurt you. Others might think you're a little strange and try to toy with you. If either things happen, you're going to go ahead and speak to. He points, and you see that there is one of the militia folks around. Go to one of those people and say, "Hi, I need help," and then explain what is happening, and they will assist. Because I've trained them. As he raises his voice, and the militia man, who is this young halfling, just kind of like shakes and looks around, to understand that you are also a citizen of this town. Isn't that right? And the halfling nods. Say it with me. He's a citizen. No, it isn't it. He has no gender. Yes. Good. Now move. And the halfling scampers away. See, we trained them well. We trained them well.
And I should not brain blast them unless I can't help it.
Just don't explain what happened. Because it's not very obvious when it happened. It's not very obvious that you're the cause of the brain blast.
Okay.
Alright. Good. Got through that. Alright, now let's go have some fun, he says.
I like fun.
Yeah. Also, once he picks you up, you're gonna get run over, and he puts you. He has this little like bird cage on his side, which he doesn't close. He just puts you in it. It's like Cricket from Mulan. It's like that. You can close if you want to, but you don't have to. It's just there because you move about 15 feet speed, which is slow but ridiculous for your fucking size. But he can put you in there, and you kind of scrunch down to that. All right, let us be off. Good, and you begin to make your way towards the cathedral. If I can get this right page out, that's there. Okay, and then I'll take that. I'll move this here. All right. Yeah, so you guys are all. Oh, yeah, I guess that's the other question. Do you guys think you guys would know each other at all? Because okay, let's go this. Everyone has heard about Clortho. Clortho? Phil?
Clortho.
Clortho. Everyone's heard about Clortho because Clortho is literally the only slime that you've all met. But do we think that the group here like knows each other or just at least has a passing acquaintance? What do we think, guys?
I don't think Clortho has met them.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think Juniper will have gone into town with the rabble, you know.
Yeah, just too busy on his project.
Yeah, too busy on his project.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Sounds good. Okay. But yeah, you guys make your way to. It's now about mid-morning. A couple hours to set up in general, but also enough time to let people to kind of meander into town and sufficiently wake up. It is a lot of people. Very, very packed. At this point. Although it's not too bad in general, like Ongo. How tall is Ongo, by the way? I forgot to ask.
Make him a good 5'8".
5'8", gotcha. Yeah. One of the townsfolk, they have set up these. They haven't really set. No, they just have. One of the town militia offers you a stool if you want to look over the crowd, because there are plenty of like taller folk in general. But even if you say no, yes, he's left you the stool. So looking about, but you guys hear bells going off, bong, bong, as they're being rung, and people begin to quiet down. And at the stage that's set up right before the foot of the stairs leading to the cathedral, you guys see the mayor, Mayor Kendra, and exit from the cathedral entrance and make their way up to the stage. There is a bit of cheering from the crowd. Some people are clearly drunk. Other people are legitimately cheering for her as she makes her way up there. There are 4 wooden chairs, and there are 3 of them occupied, so she seems to get attended late, but as she gets up there, the crowd hushes, and she smiles and begins to speak. Welcome to any that are visiting our fair town. My name is Kendra Devon, and I am the mayor of this fine town. It's wonderful to see so many of you here to join us on this proud day. I'd like to send my welcome, wholehearted welcome. Lunch is on us. Please frequent any of the establishments as well. The Rusty Dragon's a good favorite. There's the hagfish as well if you're looking for anything a little more dangerous. She says, and there's a little like good natured chatting in the crowd. And I hope that you all enjoy your stay here, especially if this is your first time. I sincerely hope that you return in the future. But anyway, I would like to without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Sheriff Belor Hemlock. The sheriff arrives. He looks very dour as he makes his way up. He is scanning the crowd and looks very much like he has a very hostile stare. He shakes the mayor's hand and begins to speak. Thank you, Mayor. Remember, if in the heat of celebration, let us not forget the sad events that brought us to this day. And then let me look at the actual what did past version. Mango, you notice that the mayor and the other people sitting down, one is the father, kind of like shakes their head like, God damn it, you weren't supposed to mention. Let us not forget the souls that were lost 5 years ago. I would like everyone to join me in a moment of silence to remember the lives that were lost in the fire that claimed our previous chapel on that fateful night. He lowers his head, and the crowd joins him in. Many people are kind of awkwardly standing there as the sign persists. And after the moment is over, the sheriff raises his hand and begins to speak again. And remembering, let us allow these events to repeat themselves. I am understanding that a bonfire is planned for tonight. I urge you all to observe caution during this event. And if I see any goddamn fireworks, there's a couple of like gasps in the crowd. Yes, goddamn fireworks. You're spending a day in lockup. That's how it goes. We have thatched roofs, people. Thatched roofs. Fires spread. All right. Fucking enjoy yourselves. Oh yeah, this is Sir Dr. Rokas. He runs the theater. He nods to the crowd and go back to his chair. And the next speaker is a very ostentatious man. Like he's got like a kind of like ruffles at the neck and at his collar. He is dressed for the stage. He's got like an Ezio like half cape, very groomed goatee, and brown hair that's been gelled back. He's like, well, thank you, Sheriff, for that uplifting oratory. Now I know that we have been through some hard times. Look at what we've accomplished. He gestures to the cathedral. And I'm telling you, they spared no expense. Father Xanthus' chamber pot, oof, solid gold. I kid you not. Our generous nobles, the four founding families, put a pretty copper into the construction of this joint. And I think even the churches of the various faiths chipped in silver too. But don't take it from me. The padre over here is the one with the direct line. He is the one you want to hear from. But before I let him go, they get things going, I'd like to take this opportunity to extend my personal invitation to each and every one of you to the new production of The Harpy's Curse, starring the world-famous Magnamarian diva Alessandra Avesara, the Harpy Queen. It's all preparing tomorrow evening at the theater. It is going to be fabulous. And now join me in a bit of applause for His Holiness himself, Padre Xanthus. The crowd cheers as he what is like? Is it like just like this, just jiggling? Yeah, I can see this. Yeah, as Sirdak motions for the father to make his way to the stage, the priest does look a little uncomfortable by the reception, but he smiles as he raises his hand and says, thank you, Sirdak. That was very, very kind of you. I thank you all for joining us on this most holy of day, Desna's holy day. It is a day of new beginnings, so no more speeches. I declare the festival officially underway. And people begin to disperse off to play the games. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and... Let's see, I imagine Jeremiah is just preparing for his thing, right? Doesn't want to do anything else?
Yeah, and then, I mean, I have the robe, whatever the thing I need with me, but...
Yeah, it's for the evening. Gotcha. Yeah, and then Darian's managed to get like a massive tent, so it's kind of covered as well, so people don't actually know what your thing looks like, which helps with the suspense. I know Ongo's on duty, but does he want to play in the games? Looking around, he sees like beanbag games, a couple races, skills of like strength or with archery.
Yeah, it's less about the games, more about like where people are gathering. He'll just play whatever to be competitive and like continue to talk to people.
Okay, understood. Yeah. Are you looking for something that's a little? You said you're looking for competitive. Okay. All right. You see that there's one place that is drawing attention is called Smash the Treasure Chest. And so contestants use this big wooden mallet to smash away and drive a ball up to a ramp to a miniature treasure chest. I think everyone knows that kind of game. They see it at any kind of carnival. And depending on how hard you hit, golden prizes kind of spell out from the treasure chest. Looking around, no one really seems to mind that even though you're in duty, they want to do this. The person that's running it is a halfling wizard that you don't recognize, but looks at you. Hello! Member of the Watch, hi! Would you like to try your hand at this game, he says. Come on, good prizes. Wow, tough crowd. Is Ongu just staring at him?
Sorry, something happened in IRL.
Gotcha.
I missed the last minute. My bad.
Gotcha. Just the halfling that's running the game is like engaging you because he sees you. He's like, "Do you want to take a hand at this game?" He says, offering this giant wooden mallet.
Yeah, Ongo's gonna go, let me at it.
Ooh, people being to clap. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please.
Athletics.
Athletics
That's a skill.
is
That's
a skill. Is a skill.
18.
18, gotcha.
Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, that was the old
Nat
one.
20.
Oh, it's a nat 20. Jesus.
There you go.
Do you like kind of peacock around, or you just like you do the roar and then just smash down?
Yeah, this is the quick, straight to the point.
You smash it down. The ball whacks the treasure chest so strongly it leaves a massive crack in the wood. And you watch as silver coins, gold, and even a couple of rubies drop down. And the halfling goes, "Well, damn, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your name, by the way?" He says.
Still like screaming, Ango.
Argo! Wow, I'm impressed. This is the best that wow, Town Watch's finest is doing a good job. I would say, does anyone else can do this? Because he just kicked it out of the park. He says, and he's like, here's your winnings, and he hands you 12 silver, 8 gold coins, and 2 rubies worth about 50 gold each.
Can you drag and drop that, or should I add that?
Just go ahead and add it. Yeah.
Okay, one more time. Slower. please.
12 silver coins,
12 silver.
8 gold coins,
8, yes.
2 rubies, each worth 50 gold.
2 rubies worth 50 gold. That's the part. Gotcha. All right, we're good. Thanks.
All right, yeah, and as you kind of take a step back, you see a bunch of like burly folks begin to make their way up to try and see if they can match your display. Although the halfling gets a ladder and like try and fixes it with mending, but none of them come close to matching your display. So you will know that you have done the best at smash the treasure chest for this time. You hear clapping. In the distance, you see that Ameko is there, and she waves at you, as she is currently getting a spread set up with a couple of the other local owners of the various taverns and inns around town. And there's an impressive spread and a massive array of foods being set out. Good job! All right, now just be careful, she says, as you almost like whack somebody. All right, but have fun. And she waves and goes back.
Yelling in her general direction, yeah.
Just roar! Yeah. Out the corner of your eye, you see the kids from earlier mimic you, going ah! They don't try to steal your sword though. They seem to have liked your performance. Which brings us to Phil Clortho. Is Clortho looking for any kind of particular game, or is he just kind of, is it they just going about to kind of just soak in all this sea of humanity and mortality?
Ortho is just wandering and reveling in the sensations that surround them. The smells, the sights, the sounds, everything is just overwhelming in the most wonderful ways. Ortho is surrounded by the wave of humanity that surrounds them.
Gotcha, yeah. Broadard has left you to your own devices because he's old. He's about 70, and he just sat down at a table and is basically just drinking himself into a stupor. But you were able to wander out. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
That is a 7.
7. It's a lot. A lot of people. Someone steps on you, but you kind of bounce back. I don't think the person even realized that they stepped on you as slime, because they look down, shit, and just like kind of wipe the boot and then continue walking along as you can make your way around. We're gonna say that you find yourself at the sign. Thankfully, is very common. A sign saying "Portrait for your sweetheart," and you see a half-elven woman with dyed silver hair. More human features than elven, so less delicate. Bit of a square jaw. She is currently drawing a portrait of a halfling couple, and just finishes up. There you are, perfect. And she looks out at you. Hello, hi. Are you the? Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I've heard a lot about you. Someone said that there was a animated slime that was moving around. I'm assuming that's you.
I am a slime.
Perfect. Would you like your portrait done? She says, I've got funny ones. She gestures and there's like cutouts that look like to be cows and like other animals, and I can just kind of just go ahead and do it for you. Normally, whatever works.
Those are humorous. I don't have any money.
No, that's fine. I'll just bill your caretaker. What is by the way, what is brought it to you? Like mentor, owner, caretaker, father figure.
I've been told I can call him father, or mentor, or Sifu, or Brodert.
Right, I'll just go ahead and build broad. It's no trouble. Did you want a funny one or did you want a more not necessarily serious, but more also more realistic?
Will you paint me as a cow?
Yes.
There's a cow.
There is a cow there, yes. All
I
right.
want to be a cow.
Do you need help as she like goes down like kind of cups you? Do you need help as like put you in the
Oh, I got it. I got it.
yeah, just and make your way. She's like, oh, there's not exactly.
Can you imagine if I was a cow? Wouldn't that be so silly?
God.
With
Oh.
bovine lore?
Anyway, she
Bovine.
goes ahead and sketches you. You see, she takes a while. She was using like charcoal before, but she switched to paints. She's like, I have to. She's like, can you make like faces? Oh, no, actually, don't do that. As you pop out your one eye, I'm like, let's. Sorry, it just looks weird on a cat. It's all right. And hands it to you. It looks like an alien parasite latched onto a cow's face, like around the eyes.
Oh,
Is that good?
thank you. I will treasure this. This is the first piece of art I've ever been given.
Glad that also you're very eloquent.
Thank you.
Sorry, not eloquent. You're very coherent, and that's a lot better than I find from most people.
Okay. That's good.
I'm sorry
Coherence
about-
good.
I'm sorry, but anyway. Oh yeah. I don't. Did I introduce myself?
No, you did
Hi.
not.
She extends a pinky. I'm Sarah. Sarah Silverhat.
Hello, Sarah. It's nice to meet you.
I believe you're supposed to just like shake the pinky. She says as she's offering it to you still.
Oh, I will wrap a tentacle around her pinky and shake.
It's a pleasure to make your official acquaintance. She says.
I don't have a name, but if I did, my name would be Chlortho, but you can call me Phil.
You respond to both. Okay, understood. Gotcha. I have a nephew that his name is David, but he prefers to be called Viper. We're humoring him. No, sorry. He's sorry. SV Viper is what he wants for some reason. But anyway, I do apologize. She says he looks beyond you, and you kind of like your eyeball disintends and looks behind you, and you see that there's a family like staring at you. I think I have more customers, although they might be here to just gawk at you. Anyway,
Okay. Have a lovely festival.
beautiful. Thank you very much. She says, and you continue your little skedaddering around. Yeah. The day begins to progress. At the end of the games, around mid-afternoon, you guys watch as Father Xantus gets up to the podium. There's no music. There's no speech. He just claps his hands, and a bunch of like crates that were positioned around the plaza open up, and a bunch of swallows fly outward, very much like doves from like a. You release doves from wedding cakes, right? That's the thing? Yes. Yes.
So, in Arrested Development, yes.
Anyway, but yeah, the swallows fly up, making people go ooh and ah before he lets you guys go into it. And that brings us to Jeremir. Jeremir, go ahead and make another crafting check, because it's a prototype. You brought it from the manor down here. You're resetting up. Anything can happen. But fucking doesn't matter. It's perfect. And it seems that Darius has finally caught on You never actually shown Darius any of your tools or stuff, but it seems that he's enough around you, and his thing is just to loom and watch until someone tells him what to do something. So it seems he's picked up a bit on like your general like skills. So he's been immensely helpful. Is that right? So the rivet goes there. Oh, I admit, Master Jeremy. When you left, to go to Magnamar to study clockwork engineering, is that the term? It's not clockwork magic.
Correct.
I
This is not magic. It could use some magic, but it doesn't you could augment it with magic, but on the basis it's technology.
right. I never really imagined that it would. But I'm very glad that it's turned out well, Master. I think it'll be fantastic. Also, as he picks out the tent, it appears that we do have quite a bit of crowd. And as you look outside, you see that people have like set up like lawn chairs almost. There's a couple of parents with like kids on their shoulders, like waiting to see what's happening. There's no like sign or anything. It's just this is the tent. There's a lot of like murmuring. You hear like people aren't exactly sure what they're gonna see. So Darius says, "All right. So I'm going to assume that you're the one that's going to man this. Is that correct, Master Jeremy?"
Correct. This is gonna be great.
Gotcha. All right. Also, go and make another perception check for me, please. You see the piratiest pirate out in the crowd. Got a parrot and everything. While everyone else is like dressed for the climate, he's wearing like he's got like the tricorn hat. He's got the eye patch. He's got a cutlass, behind him you see there's like two town militia guides watching him just in case. He's got arm crossed, and around him there's other like crew members who are looking in similar-ish states of bedraggled, as they're waiting expectantly. And they're saying, "Oh, looks like the possible investors from Riverport are here." Good. Oh, the man's putting on a hook. Weird. Aren't you supposed to lose the hand when you get the hook? Is that the thing? Yeah. But yeah,
Those might be the pirates my aunt mentioned.
I think so. Yes. But
It might be the peg leg that gave it away, but I can't be sure. You
never know. Yeah, you never know. Although I'll be honest, he says maybe they're trying too hard. Like look at them. They stand out like a sore thumb. Anyway,
it makes you think.
Makes you think. With that, Kyle, Jeremy, did you have an idea of how you want this presentation to go, or did you want to just kind of like, this is the presentation, huzzah?
I did. I was just gonna say this is a presentation, huzzah.
Okay. Yeah, very much so. Darius basically somehow has rigged the tent so that it will like collapse around it, but not like on top of the device, which is very impressive. In itself, revealing the actual mech, and you hear ooh ah from around the square, and you notice about like a bunch of people shift from whatever they're doing to also watch this display. As you get into the mech, Darius gets you like a little ladder that fat people use to get on horses. And you get into the mech and go from there. Actually, better question: does the mech? Would you have designed the mech with a mind working with your own power suit, or would you have to be in your own? Would it be just you getting into it and not coinciding with your power suit?
I would, have it with my power suit in mind. Suit inside of a suit perception.
Gotcha. It's even more impressive then, as you basically do your Iron Man thing, pulling out your suit, which you're like, wow, and then you kind of step up and make these insert yourself into the prototype mech and rise around and begin to move around. It's very slow, very plodding, but there's power there. Each step makes the ground shake a little bit, making people kind of look around like, what the fuck is happening? As you go around, you hear oohs and ahs as you demonstrate lifting large objects. That Darius sits out first. It's like a crate. Second, it's like two crates. Then it's a horse. And then Darius lets you pick him up as well. Although you do notice that the man's sweating a little bit, just in case, because as you like your big hand reaches around and grabs his like stomach and lifts him up and then putting him back down. There's plenty of claps around. But looking at it, a lot of interest. People were like very wowed by it. But sadly, the pirates do not go towards you. But instead, a woman, pale, alabaster skin, like she does not get any sun. This woman could be dead for all you know. If she just stopped moving for a second, she would look dead. But she's wearing a very fine gown, has like a parasol on to keep the sun out of her eyes, and you notice that behind her looming is this a giant of a man. He's about 7 feet tall. You're not sure it's a man because it's full plate armor covering every inch. Um, and the helmet is like a closed visor with a very narrow slit, so you cannot even see the eyes. She steps forward and says, "This is a very impressive display," she says. And who might you be?" She says, as she offers her hand, as if expecting you to kiss it.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Devon. Who might you be yourself? I shake the hand.
Charmed, she says. My name is Venarius, she says, of Kermalga. And, well, this is a very impressive display, she says. I understand that you just did some demonstrations, but what is... Can it do anything else? Because it demonstrated dexterity, lifting, and movement, but is there any chance that it could be used by the common man?
Well, I designed it to be used to help my family with working the fields for all our Devon products. But yeah, that's the whole goal behind it.
Really? Okay.
It is going to be I plan to give it to the family to be a Devon product.
I see, she says. All right, so farm work. I hate to seem very rude, but that's a little uninspired, she says.
I see. What's your occupation?
Various enterprises, she says. Some a little there, a little here, a little all over the place, she says.
Would you say it was something along the lines like privateering?
Potentially, yes, but I do prefer.
I see.
I prefer salvage, she says. What are the chances that this device, she says, could be made for underwater excursions?
Well, I have technically designed a underwater apparatus for my armor, but I'm not sure how it would take it scaling up. I'm sure it could be done, but I don't know why I would do it.
Well, there's I apologize, she says, I'm going to bore you a little bit, but a little bit of history, she says, but old Thassilon encompassed much of the Conqueror's Bay. I'm going to bring everyone over to the map of Varisia now. From what the historians and the scholars will tell you, Varisia of old, when it was Thassilon, spread out into the entirety of the Varisian Gulf, and far south most of Conqueror's Bay, and those things only have formed after the Cataclysm. So there was plenty of potential untapped ruins deep beneath the ocean's waters. But I'm just dawdling. She says, I will be in town for some time. The Scarnetti family is happy enough to host me, so if you would want to talk more shop, I think you might find a investor in me, she says. So I don't really have a card or anything, but I'm the only woman at the Scarnetti mansion. Shouldn't be too. So the only woman that's not a servant, so it shouldn't be that hard to find.
All right, I will keep that in mind.
Fantastic, she says. All right, come along, Clarence, and she wanders off, and her bodyguard steps forward and just uses their bulk to intimidate people to clear the way for her. She wanders off. But yeah, the day continues.
I turn to my aunt's aid. I think that was the pirate.
I don't know. I don't know. She's not very. Maybe that. Possibly. I'll ask your aunt, Darian says. But let's get this all packed up because you want this back at the manor, yes?
Correct.
All right. And with that, the day continues. Lunch is served, and it is free. And it's very clear that Ameko has won the contest that was there. There's like more of like a kind of rival thing going on, but her her winter drop mead and curry spice salmon took it, overcoming even the hagfish's lobster chowder or the white deer's peppercorn venison. And as the sun begins to dip down, Ongo, you the good father approaches you and looks at you and says, "I have spoken to the chef on your behalf," and he pulls out a hefty pouch. There you are, 300 in silver.
This feels kind of weird. I never asked for money to begin with, and now I feel like you've just, like, I could have. It's like the father strong-armed. It's like I sent you to him, and I almost want to return this.
It's not being strong. You're not being strong-armed. Actually, for that matter, is Mako paying you? Because you've been helping around the Rusty Dragon, right?
I get the feeling everyone in town just has like a communal bank account. Maybe they're just throwing money into. If that'll get you to stop threatening people to give me money.
I'm sorry. Sorry, he says. Just, I apologize. I will leave your business to your own, he says.
Well, it's like, you just got to do some good for the people, and then like probably in a karmic way. I mean, people feed me basically for free here, and I've been getting shelter basically for free. So
yes, Mako does like taking in strays, he says, scratching his beard.
Yeah, so that's why I would feel bad about asking everyone for money when I basically don't have to consume.
Right. Well, I apologize. I apologize if I've made you uncomfortable.
What if you just take the money and pray to God better with it? It's like at the church when you give the money, except I give it to you now instead of at the church.
Oh, would you like to make a charitable donation, he says?
Yeah, except it's kind of like you did all the work to get the donation, but you can call it for me.
Well, it is your money, well earned and spent. Sorry, not spent, but well earned.
It's a little bit like organized crime.
Well, we're not Skorzani, he says. We are the Varisian faithful.
You pulled up that name real quick.
Well, that's God, he says. I need to relax and get a drink. Your donation is greatly appreciated. Young, remember your name again?
Are priests supposed to be drinking?
It's a little bit, yes. Yeah, it's not like I'm going to get sloshed.
It's godly of you to do that.
Shellen asks us to enjoy ourselves. Rastal demands that we partake in community events and connect with people. To remind ourselves that there are good things to live for, not to actually, keep us from enjoying earthly pleasures. I mean, Abadar is a bit of a stickler for the rules, but got to say, I'm trying. I'm trying
You see
to
in
relax.
Ongo's eyes that he has mentally checked out halfway through that
All right,
description of gods.
I apologize, young man. But anyway, thank you very much. I will go ahead and add this to the donations. Thank you. And you want us off?
It's just doing good. That's
Yes. But then he stops, turns around. So if you ever, I don't know if you're aware, but we do offer magical services. And if you ever do need anything of like a much stronger persuasion, well, in terms of like lesser restorations and remove curses, I will be happy to do so at a much reduced rate.
he knocks his chest. You hear clanking of metal. I think I'll be okay. But thanks. That's what I mean about the karmic. We do good for the people, and then I get cheap healing. I guess if I ever am terribly injured. while doing the stuff I do out in the forest.
Indeed. He said, "Praise be to the gods." And he's then going to leave. All right. With that, as the day comes to a close and the sun begins to dip down, Jeremiah, Darian's, you get your prototype all packed up. Darian's can take it back to the manor if you are still going to go ahead and dress in the robes and be there for the ending consecration.
Yes.
Perfect, yeah. Trundles off, you make sure everything's strapped in, but he makes his way. And you don the robes. They are, weirdly enough, they are big. So, because they did ask you to, like, wear your mech suit underneath them. So you kind of make your way out, your mech suit adding, like, a good, like, extra foot or two to your height. As you're this massive, bulky acolyte that makes people kind of look up as you pass by them. And you make your way there. So you go there, and one of the acolytes, who you don't recognize, she looks new. You haven't really left the manor that much, but she says, "Oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you." She gestures to her space right next to her, right here. But that'll be perfect. And,
Excellent.
yes, perfect. That's all. All right, and that then we go to Phil. Brodert is very drunk. But he says, and he kind of shovels over to you, getting up from his seat, picks you up. How was the festival for you, young slime?
Oh, my festival was fantastic. I was painted as a cow.
Oh, that's adorable, he says. Wonderful. Good. Fantastic.
How has your festival been, Brodder?
I have discovered the bottoms of several different steins. He's very drunk. It has been a pleasant experience, he says. Now I suggest this. What they're going to show next is very You don't get to see a consecration happen very often, so I'm going to ask you to stay here and take it in and enjoy that. I am going to need one of these strapping young men. Gestures someone, you there, and it's a half where the conference freezes. You're going to help me to my house. And he's like, sure, yeah, I can help. All right, and enjoy the consecration. As he kind of like squeezes your body like he would like the cheeks of a child, and kind of pulls you slightly apart. There, put you down. All right.
This truly will be the best festival ever.
Yes, it will be. Good lad. And he begins to totter off, heading away from the cathedral down Junker's Way towards the house with the half-orc, not really carrying him, but kind of like making sure he doesn't like run into people and like playing like navigating like, oh, yep, well, left to the left, left to the right.
Did he leave any beer behind?
You do see that at the bottom of one of the 7 signs he's drank from, there is like about like 8 fingers full of ale. If you want to try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna gulp that down.
Sure. So if you're about like a foot tall, that's fine. It's a little bit.
I do have the barkeep background because he has made me serve him beer since I moved in with him.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. It's actually pretty cheap. From what you could actually make a barkeep lore check. Is it alcohol? Is it alcohol? I think it's an alcohol check.
No, I think I have barkeep lore. Let me check. I didn't add it, but I should have. I gotta pull up that background. Sorry.
You're gonna make an alcohol lore skill, so you're just gonna go ahead and make a intelligence check and add 6 to it.
Oh yeah, I do have alcohol lore. Cool. So it's just gonna be a 6 to it. That's a 19 total.
Someone's been watering down the ale. This is watered down. Yeah.
Well, it is the best festival ever, so it's probably intentional.
And just to make this.
Is there anyone around who can take my order?
Yes, actually, there are. There are several like servers wandering around, and one of them, this wood elf fellow looks over and says, "What can I get for you?"
Hello, can I please have an ale?
Oh, your brother, it's... Yeah, of course. I'll just put him in his tab. Sure.
Thank you.
Gotcha. And just to make things a little more interesting, Ongo. You are wandering around as you see the very small slime be handed a tankard about this tankard right in front of him, of them. That's gonna take a while to get used to. And drinks from the ale. What is Ongo's like? I guess thoughts about seeing this slime drink?
First thought is monster. Second thought is no one seems bothered. Third thought is, oh, it's doing human things and not bothering people. Fourth thought is just like, ooh, what's that over there?
Gotcha.
He thinks he's cool.
Aw.
Rapid fire ADHD. Like,
And just keep going on your patrol. Sounds
Yeah.
good. All right, and with that, as the sun begins to set, the sky purpling to that kind of dusk, reddish, orangey purple color, Father Xantus takes to the central stage. It's fascinating because the rest of the acolytes are around the same height. Then you've got on the left-hand side Jaromir, just large and hulked out with a large hood covering his face. And you watch as he pulls out a stone, which I think because Jaromir's belt and chain, so he's still like a wizard as his archetype, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you recognize that thunderstone, which makes a loud booming sound. And he takes it and crushes it in his hand, and you guys hear a loud boom echo out across the square, and making everyone kind of calm down and relax. And there's space, and so that is when we're going to go ahead and go to this map. So let's get everyone situated first. All right, Jaromir is on the left-hand side right here. Your aunt's also there. She's on the other side of the platform to your left, and she gives you a thumbs up and mouths "thank you" as is happening. Ongo, I'm going to let Brian, you choose this. Where do you think in the area would Ongo be at this point? You've got a couple of...
everything's black.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I should probably... Yeah, we're Dragon Token. So where do you think Ongo would be? There's a couple of stalls over here, wagons over here. People are kind of milling about.
He wasn't given specific instructions of patrolling.
That's true. Okay, all right. So we're going to just say that you would be like around here. Thereabouts. Clortho, you are drinking... that's Bonk, sorry. Oh, Bonk. You are over here. I don't feel like drawing a table, but like right here, just enjoying your ale. With the elf kind of like looking down at you Benuse. It's weird because when you drink, you basically like the liquid swirls around your body before it gets digested and dissipates. So it's very. You notice that the elf like takes another ale, drips something into it, and get handed to you, and you see it's glowing. It's like, can you just drink that for me, please? Just one of this.
What's inside of it?
It's amber bug juice, so it's like it makes it glow. It's something we do for cocktails to make them a little nice, glow a little bit, to see a little bit of sparkle.
Oh, of course. But I will warn you, after I consume this, my body weight will be 10% alcohol.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's also
Yeah,
on the house. This is on the house. This is on the house as well.
Down the hatch that goes, Jared.
You become a swirl of like bright lights. You basically become a lava lamp. That's what you are. That's what it is. And the elf's like, so, what do you do in the evenings? Because the hagfish you would make a killing at the hagfish. We just give you drinks, and that's all you have to do.
I've never heard of the hagfish. Will you enlighten me?
Yes. Actually, go just for the fun of it. Make a roll a D100 for me, please.
Uh-oh. Never a good sign. 42. Oh, I thought that was a 0-0. I didn't see it landed on the floor.
All right, 42. Yeah, it's one of the more popular taverns. Popular more with fishers and gamblers. It's on the waterfront near the shipyards. So you remember that Broader has mentioned it. He hasn't said anything bad about it. He hasn't said anything good about it, but he just said the hagfish. It's a name you recognize. So, yeah. So we just. I mean, I right now you are very mesmerizing, and you see you notice that there's a bunch of the smaller humans like watching you as you are just literally existing. It's like so you. We'll talk later. Enjoy your drink, and let's go from there.
Have a happy festival.
All right, and then there's the booming sound emanating outwards, drawing your attention towards the platform. Um, so as the crack of distant thunder begins to die down, the excited crowd turns to look at the western sky as it begins to paint by the setting rays. Um, Ongo, as you're making your way, you see that a stray dog has crawled in near the wagons over to these two wagons over here on the left-hand side is pinged. And the Father Xantis is clearing his voice, getting ready to speak. Jeremiah, you don't know Father Xantis very well, but it's very clear to you that he's like a little tipsy. He had a few drinks. But as he begins to open his mouth, you hear a scream cut through the air. Ongo, your attention, you notice that the dog that kind of is like crawled into the wagon gets pulled to the other side out of sight, and you begin to hear like chittering, cackling voices, followed by what is very clearly the dog yelping in pain. All around you, echoing off of around the square, you hear more of these giggling sounds. And then you watch as the dog gets tossed over the wagon. Its throat's been cut. There's a couple of stab wounds, and it lands on the ground, and a bloody splatter. And looking behind, you notice that there are goblins. And that's the other thing that now is coming to your mind. You haven't really seen the Chokebringers. They were there initially in the day, but it seems that they've kind of like filtered off as the night go along. But you do see goblins kind of pour out from this right-hand side. About I can count 6, one of which has flames dancing from his fingertips, just cackling and giggling. And from the other side, Jeremiah, as your gaze sighs from the just for the east of directions, like we'll say from the west side to the east side, you watch as more goblins kind of manifest, crawling out of wagons. Another with flames, and on the rooftop of this house on my ping, another 2 appear with bows. And that is when the panic begins to settle in as the goblins begin to set fire into the crowd. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you all to roll for initiative. And I'll go ahead and add you guys to the initiative round as well.
Alrighty. Beard, the initial skill boost that we get, we can't double apply the ones, right? So I realize that's not a very helpful question.
No, you have to be separate sources. So like for your ancestral ones, you cannot put it both to Constitution. One would have to be a different one.
Cool.
No, that's not what
I'm gonna re-roll that. I don't have initiative perception, by the way, in my thing. I don't know what happened to it.
It should be on the left-hand side. Yeah, I see it. Or are you using the bar right now?
I'm using the bar.
Okay. Oh, that's bizarre. Oh. I don't... Because you're in the initiative, right?
I'll refresh the page.
Okay. That's weird. I don't see it either, so that's a little weird to me. Okay, so I go ahead and begin to... I think, do I have all of them in here? Okay. Let's do Alt.
Okay, yeah, it's still gone, so it's somewhere. Okay, I'll just roll.
I do apologize for all the rolls that are just assaulting your screens.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I think we just press the initiative button for Jeremiah, and that is that. Now, I'm going to take a minute to see if I can get this music bot that I sent to this chat, which I don't think is actually a music bot. So, because I saw your message, Brian. It's not. It wasn't Tristan. It was me. I'm hoping this has worked, but I don't think it is actually. It's not working. All right. Jockey music is what? Fuck. All right. Let me just get.
The only thing that survived YouTube's path of destruction was Vinny.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna quickly convert a file to MP3.
But I thought you used to do this from Foundry Direct.
I did, but I forgot to actually transfer my music files to this. Yeah, but I'm gonna quickly get a song that will get really annoying really fast, so it'll only play very. Actually, wait, if I could do that. Okay, download. Put my requests. God damn it. All right, do that. 3 convert. I think I have. All right. I'm also gonna turn my camera off. My housemate has just got out of the shower. Don't want to be weird. Okay. Up to playlist. Okay. Download. No, that's not what I want. Choose file. This song begins to echo through the air as goblins begin to sing and chant. Alright, that's it. We're not going to play any more than that because that would get so annoying later on. But where's my damn battle music? I had some. We'll do this one. And that. And gonna turn that down. How's the volume for everybody?
Good.
Good.
Perfect. All right, so we are going to go and start the combat with Kendra Devrin, who sees the goblins on other sides, and begins to shout, "Everybody, please, to the cathedral right now!" The doors are open, and she shouts, and she begins to corral people, and she's going to make a diplomacy check. The die is... wow, it's actually pretty good. And people hear her voice and begin to make their way in that direction. And she then turns to the Townsguard. Townsguard, please keep the goblins busy to let the people get to the cathedral. She makes eye contact with each of the 4 members of the Townsguard and militia that are here, and she makes eye contact with you, Ongo, to make sure you got the message. But that is going to bring us to Ongo. Ongo, with your perception passport 18, it's very clear to you that this is not the only attack that's going on, because you hear in the distance toward north, there are more sounds as the goblin war chant is also echoing, not just here, but throughout the rest of the town itself. There are enemies over here behind these wagons, and there are enemies on the other side, a good, I think that is 115 feet away from you. There are a lot of innocents. What would you like to do?
Is there any clear, like, bigger or more dressed up or whatever goblin?
Looking at the one group closest, you see that there is one in the center that is almost keeping, like, that can actually sing, and his words are almost inspiring the other goblins. In addition, the one that's got flames in his hands also has, like, flasks at his hips that clearly look like maybe bombs of some sort.
Okay, and where... I'm not seeing this singing goblin. Where's that singing?
Singing goblin is right over here.
Okay, all the way over there. That's
Yeah,
probably out of range, actually. And then, with my training, do I know if I can even help these people retreat, or are they just going to retreat?
The combat.
Can I focus on combat, or do I have to do any special thing for this?
It looks like the words the mayor has has caught people, so people are going to be moving towards the cathedral. In addition, you've got like the other like acolytes of the cathedral who seem to be also helping. So you should focus on just fighting in this moment.
Okay, Ango is going to yell as loud as he can, but he doesn't have like a heroic voice or anything. He's just like, no, have no fear, everybody. I got this. And he's going to rush at the singing goblin, making a lot of noise so that it's very clear to all the goblins he is rushing their pop star.
Understood. Gotcha. Yeah.
50 feet. That's not what I can do, right?
Because you do 25, so it's gonna take 2 move action. No, it's like 20 feet, so it's gonna take. It would take 2 move actions. I will say though, if you get to like, right here, you can then do an attack against the goblin, actually, since you got that reach.
Well, I was thinking, do I think that with my strength, do I think I could be efficient in just charging from there to here and just pushing this cart into the lot of them?
With your strength, that is definitely feasible and possible. Is the goal there to like push the enemy? Are you trying to get them prone, or just like kind of disrupt their formation?
Well, there's a lot of them, and Ango's just like, oh, this is probably more efficient than hitting them one at a time, is just rushing the cart and seeing how much damage I can do to them with the cart instead.
Sure,
with just a big charge.
Yeah, okay, so 2 actions, and go ahead and make an athletics check, please. We'll say this is a DC, DC 18. It's not a heavy card, from what you can tell.
Hero point.
Oh, that's right, also everyone here has 2 hero points.
Another hero point.
That
Wait, no, not that was perfect.
No, don't hero
Oh my
point.
god.
Don't hear me.
You rush forward, you trip a little bit, and slip into like a roll and get to your feet as you go, and then you shoulder check, arms bursting through your armor, and you push the wagon not only forward but also tilted, so it slams into these goblins over here. I'm gonna quickly roll like dexterity, reflex save those. Right, wrong system, Jared. Reflex save those. See if they can help. Nope. And the wagon is going to go ahead and smash into this. Just for the fun of it, Brian, go ahead and roll for me. We'll say that is 4d8 dice, please. Roll 4d8s for me. Jesus, okay, 15. All right, 15. 2 of the goblins are immediately like smushed to death by the wagon, screeching as they do so, and you also get the pyromancer as well. The only one that is still alive is the singer, who is kind of clipped, but he's now prone on the ground and at 1 HP. But that was all 3 actions, technically, because it's 2 moves.
Can you yell something?
Absolutely, yeah.
He's gonna yell, stand down or I kill your celebrity.
Gotcha. Alright, I'll just roll saving throws for them to see if they keep their metal. 2 of them immediately begin to piss themselves, and the singer is quaking in his... He's not wearing boots. He's quaking. Alright, so the 2 goblins to the south are frightened of you and your fucking display. But yeah, that is all you can do. I think it was their turn next. That's a dead goblin. Did I set this to skip? Skip to feed, yes. Bring us to the frightened goblin over here, who is going to go ahead and book it. Just running away as fast as he can. All the way to the south. And then we go to the commoners, the people who begin to rush for the cathedral. You watch as parents pick up their kids and begin to move away. The people on the western side are doing quite well, as Ongo is there to protect them. Okay, thank you all for being patient as I move every goddamn token.
I have no fear. I can be there in about 9 rounds.
Oh, don't forget, there's people to the east as well, my dude.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Fuck.
this is a 2-pronged assault.
That's also a problem. This guy might suck. Ortho might just die.
He's got an armor class of 20.
That's a good point. He's
Alright, these people are gonna rush this way. Okay, goddamn. They're gonna run as far away as possible from the goblins that are there. Actually, this one's smart. She's gonna run like straight 'cause she's that you killed the goblins. They're gonna run this way. Yeah. Okay. These people are gonna run past over here. Clortho is very much left as all the residents, including the wood elf that was giving you free liquor, also runs for the cathedral, leaving you in the dust as you're just sitting there beside your tankard. Okay. Alright, that's all of them. Bring us this one militia man, a greenhorn who's going to rush to assist you, Ongo. He's already got his weapons. He's got his club free, so he's going to go and smack the last goblin on the ground. That's 26. That definitely hits. You watch as he caves in this goblin's skull. And that is his turn, bringing us to on the other side. This goblin who begins to cackle, tossing fire between his hands, but instead lets it die out, reaches for his belt, pulls out a flask, and chucks it at this group of people over here. Alright. And I think... Where is it? Okay. 17. You guys watch as the fire splashes down, drenching this poor unfortunate woman in alchemist fire, and dealing damage onto the folks on either side of her as well. They're all still alive, but the woman in the center is on fire and screaming as the people around her also wail in fear. Okay, that's 2. That's also 2. And then they're going to go ahead and duck behind this wagon, cackling, continuing to cackle. Bring us to Phil! Phil, you are left by yourself on top of a little table. You see that there are goblins attacking the good folk on the eastern side of this cathedral. What would you like to do?
This is outside of my realm of experience. Wow. What to do? Jared.
Yes.
I will start by casting mirror image on myself.
Gotcha. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and send that to chat if you don't mind.
I did.
Oh shit! There it is. Okay, beautiful. Should be working.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know
There
if I properly used the spell slot there, or maybe just 0 for uses.
Yeah.
Cool.
Your body wavers as the spell manifests, and now it's. Is this like the lava lad thing you were talking about earlier, where it's more of like that?
This is different than that, but this is similar.
Gotcha. Like
They're all very similar.
Yeah, 3 other like Flortals kind of shimmer about. It's less of like the traditional mirror image and more about like your body almost disintents in different directions. Weirdly, like gravity is pulling you in different directions. But yeah, that is a 2-action spell. You got one more action.
I'd like to do a Oh shit, that was 2 actions. Fuck. Can I do a cantrip and a spell on the same turn?
If you've got the spell up, if you got the action combo, yeah.
I do. I will go ahead and cast shield on myself.
Alright. Gotcha, alright. Then you, like, clasp your pseudopod together, and you now cast shield, which manifests as a shimmering, like, water-like dome around you. And that is Clotho's turn. Bring us to... These goblins up here are going to look over. This one is going to look... Actually, let's see. What's the difference between you and it? 70 feet, alright. You hear like the skittering of claws, and looking over to one of the nearby houses, you see a goblin with a short bow, skitter forward 10 feet, look at you, cock its head, and just shrug as it draws an arrow that's going to go and fire at you. So I think I still need to roll to hit, because if it hits, then you would then roll the dice, I think.
Yep.
Okay, that is going to be an 11. The arrow goes wide, flying, and
That is a critical failure, Jared.
Oh, that's right. That is a critical failure, which means that they are good old. Oh, I don't have the cards for it anymore. Weird. I think I need to do this. And then it should give me the thing. Alright. Alright. There's so much blood as the bow string, like as the arrow slices into the goblin's arm, who looks down as he begins to bleed profusely and gets sickened through by this, and is very much just concerned with his own bleeding hand, and tries to stem the blood. And fails to do so, just begins to whimper and like kind of slithers down to his feet. And that is his turn, bringing us to the other goblin over here, who is going to go ahead and run away. And I forgot this earlier, but Mangoes, you do get an attack of opportunity if you want to, because your range is 10 feet, and they're leaving your range.
No, if he's trying to run away, then it's probably fine.
Okay, gotcha. Right, the goblin's going to skitter away then, after his comrade. Disappearing down this alley over here. Faster than his comrade that's there. And that is going to bring us to Jeremir. Jeremir, thing has gone to weird. It started off very terrible, and then you watched as a young human boy rushed forward, shoved a cart with tremendous strength, unassisted by any magical or like mechanical means, and just flattened 3 goblins. But there are enemies on the other side as they have now set fire to some of the residents here. What would you like to do on the eastern side?
After watching the heroic actions of the cart boy, I go, okay, well, I guess I'm not needed over there. And then so I immediately turn my attention. I look at my aunt, and she probably motions toward the fire citizens, I'm assuming. And then I then use all 3 of my actions to move 75 feet so I can be in front of the these citizens over here.
Yeah, I can just drag them. Alright, right there.
Yeah.
You go forward, dodging with your suit. The robe flies off to do so. And you kind of slide to a halt right there, slamming your fists together. All 3 actions. That brings us to the Goblin Warriors. The one over here, one of the goblins looks at this, looks at his blade, and instead reaches into the wagon in front of him and begins to pull out sausages, stuffing them into his mouth before he runs away. And disappearing down an alleyway on the other side. That is his turn. We're going to go ahead and mark this defeated since he's gone. I should also do that for the other one that's here, just in case. Alright, and that is going to bring us to this archer up here who sees this mech and is going to go ahead and fire an arrow at you, Jeremir. That is a 17. The arrow rattles against your armor and just ricochets off with sparks. They're going to attempt one more time, and that is a 12. Is that a critical failure? What's your armor class?
21.
21. No, it's not critical failure, but it does get close to that. And that goblin is going to go ahead and fall prone on the ground to make himself less of a target. All right, bringing us to Father Absalor Xantis, who is going to step over here, chanting, claps his hands, and you watch as a wave of energy pulses out as he casts a 3-action heal. I don't think any of you guys were hurt, but all the people are immediately better as the positive energy washes over them, not necessarily dispelling the fire, but the wounds are immediately healed over. And says, "Be calm and please retreat to the cathedral, please," he says. And that is his turn. Bring us to these town guards who are going to rush forward. Over here, this one is going to go and take a stab at this pyro. And that is actually a failure. He misses, and slamming into the wagon and making the goblin kind of dance a little bit. And then the other one, then he's going to give his friend the 8 action, who's going to rush forward, drawing out a spear, and he's going to go throw it. He does get 8, so he gets a +2 to this attack. That is going to hit. You guys watch as he hefts the spear, throwing it, and it slams into the goblin's side for 9 points of piercing damage, grievously injuring him but not killing him yet. And then this guard is going to give Jeremy the help action for your next attack. Bringing us to this goblin over here, who is going to go ahead and flee south. You watch as he pulls out a dagger and picks the lock on this door, opens it up, steps inside the house, and closes the door behind him. Bringing us back to the top of the round with Kendra Devrin, who is going to continue to shout, "Please, everyone, return to move to the cathedral in a very timely fashion." They continue to do so. And she rushes down, scoops up this child, and makes her way to the cathedral steps to show everyone. Bring us back to Ongo. Ongo, all foreseeable enemies in front of you have been killed or have fled. The militiaman next to you don't know, nods to you, and your gazes both turn to the other side of the square, where there are still fighting going on. What would you like to do?
Yeah. Action 1 will be to take cloth from the cart and cover up all the corpses so the innocent children and townspeople do not see the result of a car smashing into many small bodies.
Understood, yeah.
Action 2 will be to take hold of this unsmashed cart and rush 40 feet in the span of 6 seconds, or 3 seconds, however fast it is.
Gotcha.
The concept is to push this cart far enough, fast enough, where he can ride it out the rest of the way faster than he can run.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's a way for him to do so safely, just because there are people kind of in the way here.
He would have to do an immensely hard Tokyo drift up and around here. Up and down.
Oh, this is an interesting thought. Yeah, so we're gonna make this. Okay, so go ahead and make an athletics check first, because that's gonna see if you can actually do this.
Yeah, he's not really thinking of the feasibility of this thing. He's just gonna do it.
19. You rush forward. Also, Sean, I got the mount up thing working again, so we're Gucci on that. So let me go ahead and, since you're technically gonna be riding this.
What am I writing?
Sorry, not you. Sorry. Ango rushes forward, using his force to rush there, and then he hops backwards into the wagon, letting the force propel. Go ahead and make a. What the fuck would I call this?
Tokyo drift check.
Go ahead. It's your choice of either a crafting check. You know, fuck it, we'll just do farming lore, because you've done weird shit on wagons before. This is in that wheelhouse.
Could this be an incredibly stupid, self-damaging athletics check? He's just gonna slam his foot down and
Okay.
attempt to turn with that power.
Sure, yeah, we'll say that's a athletics check DC 18 then, since you're willing to take a little damage. Easy, very easy. You do take, 2 points of damage as you manage to bring this around, scraping against the stage here, but you are able to wheel yourself all the way right here before the wagon loses steam. Okay, and that's
it.
Ongo's turn. Bring us back to the goblin war on the other side. Continues to run away. And disappears out of sight. Bring us back to the people, who continue to run away. A couple of them follow the mayor's words and kind of help their friends that are on fire, as they begin to filter into the cathedral. That is there. All right. Okay. All right. All foreseeable threats are kind of damaged. Although, let's roll this. Clortho, the wood elf from before actually rushes back and says, "I am so sorry. I completely forgot about you." He says, and he picks you up. "Do you want me to carry you to the cathedral?"
Do not despair. I have things under control. I would not object to being carried at this moment. Thank you, Sarah Silverhand.
Oh no, that's my cousin. I'm Timothy Silverhand. That's my sister.
I am
Sister doesn't
deeply
matter.
apologetic.
All right. Okay. And so you now have a movement speed of basically we'll just you have an additional movement speed of like like 25 with the person as you basically are having him carry you around. That is going to bring us to the militiaman over here who's going to run after as fast as he can. Actually, he's going to follow these people and like cover their retreat. Shield out, looking to see if there's any more goblins around. And that brings us to the pyro over here who's going to take a 5-foot step. Pull out a alchemist fire and throw it. He's gonna aim for the most dangerous looking motherfucker here, which is Jeremir. Okay, that's torch. Sorry. That is gonna be a 27, which is actually gonna hit Jeremir. The swords there are splashing against your armor, dealing 7 points of fire damage and damaging the people around you for 1 point of fire damage. But you are not on fire. The flames get doused pretty easily. So that's 7 to Jeremir. And that is the Pyro's turn. Bring us to Clortho. Clortho, you have additional movements. Timothy Silverhand looks down at you. Where do you want Timothy to take you?
I'm not going to go anywhere at first, Jared. The jello that is Clortho jiggles very substantially. Clortho shoots a brain bolt of goo directly for this door here. I am casting the Dancing Lights cantrip Amped with my conscious mind benefit of my psychic.
What the fuck does... Okay, I'm gonna wait.
I'll put it in the chat for you. Oh, that's so long, sorry.
You create a flashing display comprised of all 4 lights and occupies 5-foot square. If you
No.
the lights when you sustain the spell...
I want it to happen right in front of this door. The rules tell me that a 5-foot emanation around the lights requires everyone within that 5-foot emanation to make a fortitude save.
Okay, okay. So you're gonna... Okay, so weird enough, you... See, now it's 5 foot, because that goblin's 15 feet up. I am gonna say you're not gonna get the one inside, because even though that is the rules, there is a wall, and there's no windows around, so there's no way he can see the light. But if you want to aim it a little higher, there is the sickened goblin on top of the roof.
Yes, I will. I'll hit it for the guy on the roof.
Alright, you said it's a fortitude save, though, is that correct?
It is a fortitude save, yes.
Alright, they're not great at this. That's an 8, so that's definitely a failure.
Is it a failure or critical? Let me check. I had a spell save or spell DC of 20.
Yeah, that's a critical failure.
So that is a critical failure. Okay.
Alright.
So the creature is dazzled until the start of my next turn, and they must attempt a new save against the spell whenever it starts its turn, adjacent to the lights. And it is also fascinated by the lights until the start of my next turn.
Alright, so this poor goblin has, like, a massively bleeding arrow wound on his wrist. The lights shoot out from your mind as, like, they jiggle in, like, little globules that kind of defy gravity and begin to hover there enchantingly. And you watch as the goblin's red eyes grow wide as he gets fascinated. He goes, "Ah, pretty."
Alright, then I'm going to point a tentacle towards this other person, and I'm going to say, "Onward!"
Alright, where do you want me to go? Timothy asks.
Oh, let's go. You said it was 30?
Yes, Timothy has a... Timothy has a movement of 25, so...
Not 25. Then let's go here.
Alright, right there.
Yeah, perfect.
Right behind the moving cart that's there.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Alright, that is Timothy. Bring us to this fascinating goblin. Alright, so... He has to make another fortitude saving throw against the spell whenever it starts his turn adjacent to the lights, which it did. Okay. Another fortitude save. That is a 15, which is not good enough. Gotcha. So I think he's just still fascinated then. And dazzled. Okay, the creature's falls fat. Actually, I don't think he's fascinated anymore. Because that doesn't seem... Because it's rolling for the dazzled effect. Okay.
They're fascinated until the start of my next turn.
Oh, it's starting your next turn. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so they're still dazzled, eyes are wide, they're stimulated. So basically, they have to roll, like, flat checks to see if they can hit anything around them, which they really can't because they're also fascinated by things around them. So that is going to be that goblin's turn. Bring us to Jaromir. Jaromir, you got splashed by fire. Thankfully, your chassis took some of it, but you get singed a little bit. The enemies around you in front are kind of pitiful, as they're kind of like in various states of like either fleeing or in shitty conditions. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go and try to get my revenge on this goblin pyro.
Gotcha, gotcha. Alright, so want to be like right here?
Yeah.
Perfect, gotcha. Sounds
Then I will. Where is it? I will overdrive,
beautiful.
and then I need to roll a crafting check, right?
That is true, and it's a crafting check versus standard DC for level 4, 19. Is that? Oh, it's almost a critical success. Damn, okay, gotcha. Right, you send your gizmo to overdrive as the suit begins to, the gears begin to wind faster, steam emanates from all directions. So, you basically add an extra 1 damage, which seems minor, but you know, every little bit helps. So, gotcha. So you still have your third action.
Alright, and then I hit. What am I? I'm gonna attack. Let's see. Sword. Roll.
18 is going to definitely hit. Go and roll for damage.
Okay, and that's
9 plus the 1, so that's 10. Yeah. You behead this goblin pyro. You sweep a little low, but you sweep almost a little too high, but you catch the head, the neck flying off as the goblin is decapitated and drops to the ground with a thud as it is now dead. Ending Jeromer's turn, bring us to this prone goblin up here, who sees all this, and they're going to go ahead and fire off against Jaromir. 1 shot, that's 23, which actually is going to hit. You take 4 damage as the arrow pierces into one of these soft chinks in like your right arm, and then they're going to go ahead and get up and scuttle away to the other side of the rooftop. Ending their turn, bringing us to the father, who is going to go ahead and do a 2-action heal for you, Jaromir. So you're going to heal. Oh, that's not what I want. Healing. You get. That's a little too much. All right. Wow, that's way too much. You get back 9 points of healing. No, that's 2d10s plus 8. You get back 17 hit points of healing.
as a max up.
Yeah, as a ray of healing shoots forward to you, and you, the father, say, "Thank you for your service," and that is going to be his turn. Actually, the acolytes are going to rush forward and also begin to heal the people over here that were on fire. Alright, bring us to the town guards, who look at each other and nod, and this one's going to go ahead and rush up over here and like position himself and with his shield, and the other one's going to rush forward and try to like jump up to the rooftop. Let's see if we'll see. Athletics check. That is a failure, so he does not get an H action, but 9. You guys watch as it looks like they're going to succeed, but then when he gets propelled upwards by the shield, the guard that was leaping up to the rooftop slams his head against the lip of the roof here and falls to the ground prone. And is going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And that is his turn. Bringing us to the goblin inside the house, who opens the door, peeks out, looks around, and then closes the door again. bring us back to the top of the order as Kendra continues to get people around. Bring us to Ongo. Ongo, you're honestly surprised that your stun worked, but you do see that the majority of the enemies on the ground floor, on the ground level, have been dealt with. There are 2 archers, and then there's also a goblin inside this house that is here. What would you like to do?
He's gonna get that cart all the way to the wall, just like slamming straight in, and he's gonna jump up. Is there like a second floor window or something?
There's not. It's not a 2-story building, unfortunately. But you could try to leap onto the roof if you wanted to get at these archers that are up here.
Yep, cart to wall, up to roof.
All right, sounds good. So you're using the cart to make an athletics check, please. We'll call this a DC 18 because it's a little easier. 25, yeah. You drop down and then wheel yourself again, and then hop into the wagon and crawl up before leaping yourself upwards. It's going to slam into the wall here, but you do make it to the rooftop as I go ahead and increase your height. Landing here beside the goblin that's there.
How many actions do I have left?
I would say that's 1, but I have one other question. Sean, for the
Yes.
For the amped up dancing lights, would Mongo be affected in this instance?
So I was just rereading it. Each creature in a 5-foot emanation, when I cast the spell, must attempt a Fortitude save.
Gotcha. So
I
I
don't
don't think.
see anything that suggests that people who enter the emanation are required to. But I also have the ability to move the lights.
I don't think that's the case. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think Mongo's
particularly
affected
clear.
then. That's fine. But Mongo, you land behind this fascinating goblin, eyes wide like a moth drawn to a flame, looking at the light that's there. So use self 1 action.
Thing that. Oh, I only have 1 action. I thought it was 1 action to get up here.
I'm gonna
I
say
have 1 action
'cause-
left, right?
2 because you're doing a side jump plus moving with the wagon, so you have 1 action left.
Okay, well, seeing that this guy's distracted enough, well, I guess I can't do much. All right, I just I attempt to yeet him off this roof, whether that's a kick or a throw, whatever I think would probably a kick would get the furthest and fastest. I'm just gonna go and kick the goblin.
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check. You're trying to meet or beat a 14. 16. You are a little unstable from landing on the rooftop as you turn around, and then you plant your boot into the goblin's face, kicking it offwards. They fly, falling in this direction, and they don't get I think they do get an actually. That's not good enough. Alright, and they fall 15 feet to take 7 damage, and their skull cracks open and they die.
Ew.
Yeah, the guard below is like, oh god, ugh, as he's kind of like throwing up as he got a little bit of goblin's blood in his mouth from like the splatter. But that is Ongo's turn, bringing us to the commoners who continue to flee. I'm not gonna move them. This is fine. They continue to flee towards the cathedral. Bring us to this militia guard here, continuing to keep the retreat. Bring us back to Clortho. Clortho, most of the enemies in sight are gone except for the one inside the house, and then one just on the middle of the rooftop. It's a little hard for you to see, but Timothy kind of raises you so you can look at the goblin on the rooftop still.
Sweet. I have no idea if it's going to work, but I am going to move my dancing light to be within 5 feet of this person on the rooftop to see if somehow they're forced to make a save.
See, move the lights when using the spell. The lights must remain tied. The spell gains each creature in 5 minutes from the lights. When you cast the spell, must attempt a fortitude save. I don't think it does, unless
I don't think so either.
Yeah, unless the
Sad.
amp up does something, but we can look into that later.
Clortho doesn't. I mean, that is the amp that I'm including, but Clortho doesn't know that. So, be distracted by the ooze.
Just an action, yeah, to move the lights.
Does that not work? Just tell me it doesn't work. That's fine, and then I
Yeah,
can
it
do my
doesn't
next
work,
action.
no, but you do spend one action to sustain the spell, move the lights to swirl
Yes.
around your target.
Yep, cool. Well, if that doesn't work, I will then go ahead and do my psychic thing, whatever that's called. I'm going to unleash my psyche as my second action.
Okay.
It's a free action, actually. Sweet. So, going beast mode. Then I will go ahead and Psyburst. I'm gonna just think bad thoughts at that guy on the roof. Oh,
like
fuck, he's gonna be within 30 feet. I will spend my second action to get closer to the roof,
Timothy
probably right
can move
here.
you. Timothy can move
perfect. Great. Second action, I'll go here, and then third action, I'm just gonna think bad thoughts at that guy on the roof.
It's like you're a meanie pants. It's all like the things that kids think, kind of almost.
This is the best festival ever. Why are you causing trouble?
All right. The energies swirl out of your head, manifest as like little, like almost like snake-like tendrils of gooey energy. What save am I making?
Reflex.
Reflex saving throw. +7 for this. That's 24. Yep. That is going to succeed. They still take damage. Yeah, they just take half, so you go roll the damage still.
Cool.
I think you just need to press the level bludgeoning damage since it does calculate per level.
Oh.
So you take 1 point damage. Most of the rays miss, but one.
Hang on, Jared. I already divided that by 2. I rolled 2d4 divided by 2.
So it's 3. Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, I can just do the bludgeoning damage from now on.
No, that's good. Yeah, most of the rays miss, but a couple like brush against the arm, and the goblin's eyes widen and it shivers as it feels your bad vibes touch it. Is that the end of
my bad vibes? His bad vibes. Yes, that's the end of my turn. The sad end of my turn.
Right. That brings it to Jeremir. Jeremir, you see that there are one of the town's guards turns to you and say, "Excuse me, sir. Master Devrin, there are only 2 goblins left. One inside the house." He gestures to this door. And then one up top, where the young... Fuck is his name? It's Ongo. Ongo is dealing with the other one. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna cast... what's it called? I'm gonna cast Shield.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
And then I can, like, extend it, right? Let's see.
Oh, do you mean shield, or do you mean the protective ward?
Or the... whatever one it is.
Yeah, protective ward
Raise
is the
magical
one...
shield, yeah.
Protective ward is the focus, but below it, that's the one that gives the armor class bonus and the resistance to damage.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, sounds good. All right, you raise both your hands, one with your bastard, the other one with your regular hand, and begin to swirl it around as the ward begins to manifest. Okay, bringing up your armor class, and then what's the radius of that? Does it see time?
I'm gonna try to sustain it to up to to 30 feet, so it'll cover.
Okay. Well, because it starts at 5, and you can extend it. If you want to spend all 3 actions, you can extend it out to 15 feet.
Will that cover Argo?
No, let me see, because I'll just do a... Where's my little thing? So this will be 15 feet now. Oh, it's 15 foot radius, that's right, so it would be this.
That's not even gonna cover him. Maybe I won't do that.
No, because it goes 15. It goes, yeah, because it goes 15 up and down, so it would just get Ongo.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that.
All right. As the barrier extends outward, your 3 actions being cast. It's more of like a swirling golden energy with like the very hint of gears. And Ongo, you feel this protective magic swirl around you as you are. You gain a +1 to your armor class, in addition to resistance to damage resistance to 3 to magical damage. So if you take any spells, but yeah. Okay, that is all.
Do I realize where this comes from, or do I just, like, what does that look like from my perspective?
Looks like to you, as you're focusing upon this glowing goblin surrounded by dancing lights. Behind you see, like, a swirling of golden energy and gears, and you look over your shoulder to see Jeremir at the center of this magical expansion. So, it's clear to you that's Jeremir.
Oh, okay. He's gonna just yell out, "Thanks, dude!"
And that is Jeremir's turn. Bringing us to this goblin who sees all this happening, and they're going to drop their bow, draw their dog slicer, and charge forward, and then attempt to trip you. So, what is your reflex saving throw?
8.
8. Right. They rolled
I
a
guess
9. That's
18?
18. Yeah, not good enough. You watch as they swirl, they slide forward and try to sweep at your foot, but you are muscle and strength, and it barely doesn't budge you. And that is the goblin's turn. Bringing us to Father Abslorzantis, who is going to go ahead. That's a touch. Okay, and you watch as he raises a finger at the goblin attacking our boy and shoots a blazing ray of light. Which is barely gonna hit. But that is, you watch as the goblin gets incinerated in radiant fire for 12 points of damage and dies, screaming. And that is going to be the town guards who are going to burst in through the door here. You hear a quick screams from inside, and you hear, "House is cleared! Goblin dead!" And with that, combat is going to go ahead and end, and I think that's a good place to also end as well.
Well, I for one feel like I have many kinks to iron out before our next combat.
That is alright. That is okay, but you had Timothy to make you move. Alright.
Note to file, Jared will not always have an NPC to pick me up and carry me around the battlefield.
Absolutely, yes. Also, I forgot to narrate the most important thing was that one of the priests gets knocked over in the rush. That's Declan's character. We're gonna say that Declan got knocked out, and he's gonna wake up like a fallen New Vegas, like wake up. Hey, champ, how we doing?
You're finally awake.
You're finally awake. You missed the action.
Right, I gotta hop out. I'm waking up in like 4 hours for a plane flight.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.